Hi friends, Mindy here. I have a quick video for you today. I am going to be making a little journal. I'm going to be going on a retreat here in a few days, and I'm going to be, for the first time, meeting all of the Bythewell4God creative team in person, and I'm super excited, plus a bunch of other lovely Bible journaling ladies. I'm super excited about this, and so I reached out to the creative team and asked them to send me their favorite verses or just verses that are, inspiring them right now. And I'm going to create a little journal. So if you've watched any of my channel before, I got my start doing paper crafting years and years ago with scrapbooking. And so I can't go to something like this without documenting it. So what I decided to do is make myself a little traveler's notebook, memory keeping book. And so I'm going to, my plan is, anyway, I have a page in here for each of the girls on the creative team, and I'm going to hopefully get their picture or take a picture with them, and then I can record that, and then I have their favorite verse as well. So they don't know that I'm planning on getting their pictures, so hopefully they don't mind. But anyway, there is at least one of the ladies is not going to be there, but I created a page for her anyway, just in the hopes that someday I actually do get to meet her face to face. If you know, I have been a long time follower of Bythewell4God. I totally support their company, and I'm super excited to be on their creative team now. And so getting to meet these ladies is just really, really exciting to me. So what you see me doing here is picking out some of these papers. These papers are from the set A Glimpse of Heaven, and this paper set and the devotional actually are still in the Bythewell4God website. So I will link my affiliate link down below, and if you're interested in either the devotional kit or just these papers, they're both available at least right now. So anyway, what you see me doing here is I am just backing each of these pages with some of this beautiful paper, and I'm kind of leaving it so that each one of them has pockets, and I am kind of coordinating some papers together because these pages are they're 6 by 8, and the traveler's notebook is just ever so slightly taller than that. So on some of the pages you'll see me, I have it centered, and then other pages I'm just going to add another little coordinating piece. So I'm just kind of going through here and trying to decide which papers I want to do. I had a plan. I left the page over there on the left side blank because I'm going to put some retreat information there. And then I'm just creating myself, some little pockets and things, because I'm not exactly sure, other than, getting a picture of these ladies. I'm not really sure. I might want to add some notes or, just decorate the pages further. I'm just kind of starting this off so that I have kind of a head start. So I'm not trying to play catch up. So what I have done is I took each of their favorite verses and I typed them out, and I actually used Tomo River paper here. So it's a real thin paper, but it's just a great texture instead of just using copy paper. So I just typed them all out, and then I am going to tear it all out. And then I used my Dymo embossing labeler to write out each of their names. And so I'm going to have their verse and their name on their page. And then, like I said, I have, some pockets and things so I can put other things or notes or memories or whatever. So on this next page, you can see I have this purple paper on the left side, and I'm just going through the other papers, trying to decide. I want something that coordinates but doesn't look like I'm trying to create a 2-page spread, if that makes sense. So I want something that's not going to be, all of the papers coordinate because it's from the same kit, but I just want something that, isn't too contrasting, I guess, on each side. So on this left side, I'm putting this beautiful purple striped paper, and then I will trim off the excess here. And then I'm using this beautiful floral just kind of down here at the bottom to kind of break up some of that, and then to also fill in the rest of that page. And then this will also be just a pocket. So then I'm going to trim off all of the excess, and all these little pieces and things that I'm cutting off, I'm going to save all of those. So here I'm just tearing out another one of these verses. I have a list off to the side of each of the ladies' names and which verse belongs to them. So I'm kind of referencing that as I'm going through here. And just doing all of these kind of prep work steps ahead of time just is going to save me some time. And then I can always go back and add my embellishments and things later. So even when I'm gluing down like the scripture, I'm just putting a very little amount of glue or adhesive in the middle so that if I want to, I can tuck things behind there or do some other kind of embellishing. So I'm just leaving myself a lot of flexibility that way. So now I'm working on this right-hand page, and I'm using this paper that kind of coordinates, and then again, just gluing it down and trimming it off. And then I had this page. This actually was from when I went through this devotional. I had this page, and I kind of wanted to use this ombre look a little bit. So I'm just kind of tearing off around where I had cut out those squares, and then I'm just going to trim it down just to make sure it's big enough. And I ended up having just enough space once I trimmed out on the right side where I had cut out that square. And then, so I had just enough, it was just wide enough that I was able to use it here for this little pocket. And I'm just kind of fixing the torn edge up here at the top. And that's kind of one of the things I'm doing, is repeating certain things. So I'm repeating torn edges. Like all of the names are in this label maker, the black, very bold name. And those kind of things just really make your project seem more cohesive. So anything that you can do like that to just kind of repeat textures, or just things like the torn edges and that kind of stuff, it helps bring the whole thing together. So again, I'm going to tear out, I did this for every one of the scriptures. I just tore it out of this paper. It's really easy to tear because of the kind of paper that it is. So just tearing it down, and then, I'll have a little variety on each of the different things, but for the most part, everything's going to be kind of the same formula. So I have the scripture, and I actually used one of the old, an extra flashcard, and I'm just going to use that. I'm going to tear the edges of that and use that as a backer for this particular scripture, because I wanted it up at the top, but because the white paper, the background paper was also white, I felt like it was getting lost. So I just added a little pop of color with this flashcard tucked behind there. And then I wanted to put the name down here at the bottom, but I just felt like it was kind of lost on its own. So what I'm going to do is cut out with this punch that I have a butterfly here. And I'm going to actually just use this little butterfly to tuck behind the name that's going to go on this page. And it just helps anchor that name, so it doesn't seem like it's just, floating out there for no reason all by itself. So anytime you can anchor it to something, and then it also pulls down that same pattern paper, those colors from that pattern paper down kind of into the bottom, and just makes it all seem more cohesive. And at this point I realized that my little butterfly was missing a wing, so or part of the wing, so I went back and had to repunch that. And then I'm just gluing it down here with some liquid adhesive, and then I'm going to use the label maker right over the top. This Dymo embossing label maker, they're self-adhesive, so you just after you cut it, it creates a little thing on the end, and you can just peel off the backing. So anyway, moving on to the next page, I'm going to use this cloud paper, and I'm trying through each one of these pages to use a different style of paper for each one of the pages, to not have like repeats for the background. Some of the coordinating, papers, they repeat, but for the most part, all of the background papers are different, just to try to keep it interesting, I guess. And when I got this kit, I actually bought 2 of the packs of paper because I love the paper so much. And so that's why I just had so much extra, because I actually created a journal for this devotional kit. But I ended up just with a lot of paper left over. I had planned to do something else with it and never got around to doing that. So I just decided this would be a good time to use up that paper that I had purchased. So, and on the left side, you saw I put a little strip of that hot air balloon paper. That was one of my favorites from the whole entire paper pack. And I'm just using the bottom portion of this page to add the scripture. This was kind of a long scripture, so it kind of anchored by itself, really. And then I'm trying to find the right name here, but I still left it so that it still has a pocket, so I can still tuck a tag or whatever in there. And then I'm just gonna kind of anchor all of these elements together by making sure that the name tag goes over all three kind of pieces. So it goes over the background, it goes over the piece on the left, and it goes over the scripture. And that just helps everything to, you know, be grounded together. And then I decided on this page to go ahead and put the scripture down here at the bottom because, again, it was going to get lost on that white background up at the top. So just trying to do the same thing there. And so you can kind of see how these are coming together. And this didn't take me a whole long time, but I just didn't want to make you watch me do the whole thing. So you can see here I have all of the scriptures. I have pockets here. I have places I can tuck things. I have room to still decorate and embellish everything after I get the pictures and get it, you know, kind of the way that I want it. And then I have a bunch of pages at the back, and I'm leaving those blank purposefully so I can include some of the other ladies and things that are at the retreat and just some memories and fun things. I know I'll be taking a lot of pictures, and so I am going to save all my scraps and use those to decorate the last half of this book. So anyway, it looks like I might need to open this up and bind it, like take the staples out and stitch it, but we'll just have to wait and see how chunky it gets. But anyway, if you liked this video, I would appreciate it if you gave it a thumbs up. That really helps my channel get out there. And subscribe if you haven't already. And until next time, bye-bye.